Coach, you guys led 23-21 after RJ hit a three in the first half. They closed half 28-10.
Yeah.
What did you see that kind of went wrong, or everything kind of fell apart there?
Yeah, I just felt like every effort, physicality, part about the game from that stretch, they dominated. From a defensive standpoint, very difficult. They were physical, getting us off of our screens, off of our cuts. On the offensive end, they were able to run their offense like they do in shoot-around. They're a very good team, and they played tonight hungry and in every aspect of the game. And I thought that was the deciding factor from that 23-20 stretch in the first half.
What's your level of disappointment or frustration from that stretch, and might that be a low point, given the fact that you guys are coming up with the other day, they were talking about desperation and all that? Didn't seem like a lot of that was here.
Yeah, one of the things that we talked about in the game is, and I think it was a question after the game on Saturday in regards to a sense of urgency, and I said, no, it's a sense of emergency. And that's the type of mindset that you have to have in your preparation, practice, and play every day. And it doesn't guarantee you that things will work out your way, but without it, you have no chance. And so from that standpoint, just sad.
Hubert, this was a team that in November and December, even when you guys would dig big holes, big deficits, you played with your hair on fire a lot of times to get back in it. Do you feel like that this team has lost its fight in some ways? Is that a fair assessment?
I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. We have to keep getting back up and keep competing. And we got knocked down today, but we got to get back up, and we got to move forward, and we have to competitively fight.
To piggyback on what Adam just asked you, is there a beaten down element that over time, some of that's how difficult the non-conference schedule was, and falling down as much as you guys have, that maybe they don't have the same gusto that they had earlier?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, we have been in a number of, one possession games or tight games, and but I wouldn't say that we were worn down from the entire season and the schedule that we played. We just didn't respond today with the type of competitive fight that you have to have in order to just have a chance to win a game like this.
Hubert, obviously we know Ian's a very confident guy, confident player. Last couple games hasn't been able to make a field goal. I guess in this recent stretch for him, what do you think has kind of maybe gotten away from him from a scoring standpoint, and just how do you think he can kind of get back into a group?
Yeah, I mean, for all of our guys, it's not just about scoring. There's just so many ways that you can make impactful plays in order to help a team win. So, it's defensively rebounding, diving on the floor, talking on defense. And so, there's stretches where, from an offensive standpoint, for any player, where they struggle, they're out of rhythm. Those things happen to everyone. But the things that you do have control over is, defense, rebounding, different stuff like that. And so Ian's a great kid and a talented player, and I love coaching him.
Where do you think he stands when it comes to some of those other things you're talking about, as far as the defense, the rebounding? Like, do you feel there's, I guess, aspects of those areas where he can also take some strides.
Yeah, but I mean, Ian's always been competitive. He's a joy to coach. All of the guys are. I can't say anything but unbelievable, awesome things about each one of the kids on the team in terms of their, in terms of coaching them, and so we all can improve in every area, and we're going to have to.
What was in your view some of the issues with Locken got going early? Some of those threes were pretty simple walk-in looks that were clean. Like, what in your view were the issues there? And surely you wanted to take away some of the buckets that he got, because he was scoring free and easy there.
Yeah, he was. But, a couple of those threes came off of offensive rebounds. Okay, so it's a result of us not boxing out. On ball screens, they got really too much depth.
Yeah.
And so when you get too much depth, in terms of recovering to them, it's just too long of a closeout. We talked about different things and stunning towards them on the weak side, but because of the depth that they got on ball screens, it was just too long of a closeout. And so after he hit a couple, he was really hot and he was getting everything. It wasn't just the threes; it was around the basket. Yeah. It was posting up. It was offensive rebounds. He didn't feel us defensively at all. He was in a really comfortable rhythm in the first half.
Couple more.
If I can go back to Ian, he had a 7-game stretch where he averaged about 22 points. In his 7 games since then, he's at about 7. So going back to what you said a minute ago, is there anything more than it just being a stretch by a young guy where he's not maybe getting as many shots as he was getting before? Is there something more to it?
I don't know. I mean, it's always as a player, and this isn't in regards to Ian, to everybody, there's an adjustment as you continue to grow as a player. Scouting reports change on you, tendencies or from the opponent are noticed more, and those are great opportunities for growth out there on the floor. And so, as I said before, I have loved coaching Ian, and I couldn't think of a better person to coach and to be around every day.
What were you hoping to get from Jay Witt, putting him in the starting lineup?
Shefflin is just, in my opinion, the best offensive rebounder in the league. And, we had been starting, we're not very big. We're a small team. We start a really small lineup and just didn't think that would put us in a position rebounding to start the game. And we got off to a good start. As you mentioned, we were 23-21 or 23-20. And then from that stretch, it just Clemson just took off.
Coach, I know you talked about it. Tonight was the tied for the largest rebound margin discrepancy this season. I know you talked about the physicality, but what were some of the other issues that led it to be so lopsided?
Yeah, I mean, it was the physicality. It's the will and want to, energy and effort. Rebounding, I've said, is not dictated by your physical size. We've played, bigger teams, and we've boxed out, we've rebounded, we've actually won the rebounding battle. We talked about 3 things that were really key for us: winning the rebounding battle, winning the turnover battle, and winning the free throw battle. And I don't think we won either one.
Turnover.
We won the turnover battle?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, rebounding, I've always said, is the #1 determining factor of the outcome of the game. And just our inability to keep them off the offensive glass, and our inability to get to the offensive glass was something that we just couldn't overcome.
Hubert, I know in
Last
these,
one.
Last 7 games, you have to take the game by game approach.
Yeah.
Can't win all seven of them at a time. But I guess what are the challenges that come with that? Knowing like how much work kind of needs to be done at this point.
Yeah, the only work that needs to be done is preparation for our game on Saturday. I don't look down the line, the remainder of the season. I just think that's a waste of time. I think what is in front of you is our next game, and our next game is Saturday at Syracuse. And so, that game deserves and will get our full attention, because that's the next game in front of us. And after that, we'll move on to the next game. And that's always been my communication with the team, and that's what my communication will be with the team moving forward.